Hello, my name is Rebecca Jackson, and this is my internship presentation for marriage and family majors at BYU, Idaho, and I did my internship with the National Healthy Marriage Institute. A little bit about me. My name is Rebecca, and I am a senior at BYU, Idaho. I've been finishing up everything online, and so when I was looking for an internship, it was really important for me to be able to have one online. I do stay at home with my 4 young kids, and so that's my major priority. And so I needed something online and flexible to work with my schedule. How did I find my internship? Well, I started a few semesters before I actually wanted to do my internship, and I had an internship lined up, and then a few weeks before the semester started, my internship fell through and I lost contact with the director of that program. And so I turned to the BYU Idaho Student Support Group on Facebook to see what other students recommended, and Aaron Larson came highly recommended. He has 2 organizations he works with, actually, the National Healthy Marriage Institute, which is the one that I worked with, and then he also has the Dibble Institute. When I started looking into Aaron Larson, I actually remembered him from a presentation he gave in one of the family classes. He gave a presentation about going to grad school and all the things that you can do with a degree in marriage and family. And I remember being really impressed with his presentation, and so I sent him an email and I got in contact with him. And fortunately, he still had availability, and I was able to get everything set up because he already has a relationship with BYU Idaho. It's really easy for you to get your internship approved and everything set up to start your internship with him. What were my responsibilities for my internship? Well, with the National Healthy Marriage Institute, Aaron Larson is working on marriage. And so one of his projects is a blog, and it's Great Dates Houston. And so my responsibilities were to research the Houston area and come up with great date nights for there. I also needed to research relationship reconnections, which are activities or things or topics that spouses can talk about when they're on a date and how it relates to the date that they're on. So I did a lot of research for that. I first started working on the Houston blog, and then I was able to start the Phoenix blog, so Great Dates Phoenix. That was a lot of fun, being able to research the area that I'm in. And then also I was responsible for editing and labeling all the previous blog entries. And so that took up a lot of time as well. But it was really fun to be able to read what other people have written, their other relationship reconnections, and just to get a great idea of all the dates that are available out there. How did I benefit the internship? Well, I took my internship very seriously and I worked really hard. I did a lot of research. I researched a lot of creative and realistic date nights. And then I also did a lot of research for marital tips, marital relationships, how to reconnect with your spouse. I was responsible for writing a lot of blog entries. I think I wrote somewhere around 75 blog entries. And what they were is a date night and then a relationship reconnection to go with that. So for example, on this Great Dates Phoenix blog, I did one about hot air balloon rides because we have tons of hot air balloons out here. And the relationship reconnection was about seeing things from a different perspective, because when you're in a hot air balloon, the world looks a little differently. And you and your spouse have different perspectives on things, and sometimes that can cause conflict. And so you need to be able to see things from a different perspective. And it's a great time to talk about how you and your spouse see things from different perspectives and how you can understand each other better. My thing that I'm most proud of contributing to the internship was the creation of the Phoenix blog. I started it from scratch, and it's really grown, and there are tons of great ideas on there. So I was really proud of that. How did I benefit from My internship. Well, for me, it was a really great experience. I was able to connect my previous coursework and learn more about enriching marriages. I have always been a huge advocate for strengthening marriages, and so I was able to work on that, and I was able to help others. One of the best things about this internship was the flexibility. I was able to do it at my own pace. I was able to set my own hours. I was able to do more or less, whatever worked for me at that during that particular week. Other things that I benefited from were my writing and editing skills increased because it is an online internship. I had to do a lot of writing, and then I also had to edit things. Another benefit for me was that when I started the Phoenix blog, I started it because I'm in that area, but I'm actually new to the area, so I was able to learn a lot about what Phoenix has to offer, and I'm excited to be able to go out and try some of these dates with my husband. And that is one of the biggest benefits I had was my marriage. When I was researching all these relationship reconnections and how to enrich marriages, it gave me ideas of things that I need to work on and things that I can do to make my own marriage better. And so that was really great that I'm able to help others and also help myself as well. What connections did I make? Well, in our previous coursework, I had to do a lot of research and writing, so I was able to put those skills to good use in my internship because I had to do a lot of research for all the different blog entries, and I had to write them all up. Also, with my previous classes, in particular for my practicum class, my focus was on marriage and strengthening marriages, and so I was able to build on those principles that I use in that. I used a lot of the Gottman Institute, the 7 principles that he teaches. And then in my child and family advocacy class, we talked a lot about being an advocate and standing for something, and that even one person can matter. And during my internship, I was able to be an advocate for marriages and show people that there are resources out there and there are different ways that you can work together with your spouse to go on weekly date nights and to strengthen your marriage. And another big connection that I made were the resources. There are tons of resources out there, and sometimes people don't always know where to find them. And so that was great that I was able to help compile a list of great resources for other people. Would I recommend this internship? Absolutely. I highly recommend this internship. If you are looking for something that is online, flexible, you can do it from home, this is the perfect internship because you can set your own hours. You can do more or less depending on your workload in your courses that week or your family life. This was such a great internship for me to be able to do with young kids at home because it was so flexible. The other reason I highly recommend it is because Aaron Larson is just amazing. He is great to work with. He is very caring and understanding. I actually had some family emergencies come up, and he was really understanding and helpful with that. And he would say, "No problem, just get it to me later." And I was able to catch up on everything and really help him out. And he is so appreciative of all the work that the interns do. So he is so great to work with. So I would highly recommend this internship. Who to contact? Well, I just sent Aaron Larson an email. There's 2 email addresses there, and he can get you more information. There's also his website, healthymarriage.org, and you can look at his blogs that he has, The Great Dates Houston and The Great Dates Phoenix, and he actually has other ones as well, Great Dates Seattle, Los Angeles, and Portland just started. So he has a lot of great resources out there. You can also contact me for more information, Rebecca Jackson. You can email me if you have any questions for me, and I would be happy to answer them. I hope that you find a great internship, and good luck.